Oh, champ. Listen, man. Academics and Wack 100 had a debate on Clubhouse with a bunch of other people. And the debate was about if Kendrick Lamar was the first West Coast rapper in 25 years to actually have a run. All right? Do me a favor, make sure you're gonna please like, smash the like button, share the video. Is this true? We going to see what this is really hitting for, man. Run up these likes, gang. Smash the like, share the video. Okay. I ain't gonna run it yet. I'm gonna let more people come in. Let me let more people come in the room first before we start. Hold on. Heard this guy pretty heated. I only heard a little bit. I ain't hear the whole thing. I ain't gonna lie. I only heard a little bit. But is this true? This could be true, gang. I ain't gonna lie. I don't remember the last time the West Coast had a crazy run. I ain't gonna lie to you, gang. But let's play the footage, man. Salute to the chat.
It ain't been since the 90s that West Coast
Nah,
artists
Chuck had a run. Chuck had a run, bro.
But you can't say we not used to it and then say at the same time it ain't been since the 90s. If it's been a run, it's been a run.
You guys say Chuck in terms of like Chuck Taylor? Like
the game definitely had a
in
run.
the 2000s, not the 90s.
Wait. The game never was 50 was still bigger than him and had a better run even in the year of documentary. That's a fact.
We said it had a run.
A run.
Oh, okay. All right. No, it was a run. But hold on. We're not talking about the number one run in the game. The number one run, which I think this is where 50 kind of like, takes credit for game shit, is still all of that falls underneath 50's run.
No, it don't. It don't. Let me tell you why it don't.
He was
Because
associated
Game
with 50
destroyed.
G Unit.
Game destroyed the whole G Unit.
G Unit.
Yeah, that ain't true. He ain't destroyed no whole G Unit. If that was the case, there would have been. If G Unit got destroyed by a game, then the run would have stopped. G Unit run lasted a long time. In fact, the G Unit outlasted the game. First and foremost, the game, did he have a run? I ain't gonna lie. The documentary is a West Coast staple. Like that's one of the biggest West Coast albums ever. Is the documentary? That's a fact. If you ask anybody in Cali, they gonna say it is. You feel what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, what run did the West Coast have in the last 25 years is the question. Because when you talk about runs, you're going to talk about the entire United States is on this. Like, this is what the whole United States is on. You feel what I'm saying? Was there a time in the last 25 years where there was a West Coast run? I don't know. In the 90s, I could say yes. In the 2000s? I don't know, bro. I don't know. In the 2000s, it was more mixtape eras, like 50 Cent, Jay-Z. It was a lot of different people who had runs in the 2000s. But was there a West Coast run specifically though? It didn't seem that way. There was the South. The South definitely had a run though. The South had a run. You feel what I'm saying? But the West Coast had a run. I don't know. Somebody said Tyler the Creator had a run. I don't think so. No. You got to remember, like, I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to Odd Future, I will say Odd Future had a run. Odd Future had a run, but it had a run for a certain audience. Like, Odd Future itself had a run to me. Not Tyler the Creator solo, but Odd Future as a collective to me had a run. If that makes sense. You feel what I'm saying? Like, okay, Odd Future, I seen and witnessed them have a run as a collective. As a collective game. You feel what I'm saying? But that's all subjective though. Let's continue, all champ.
You not with you.
Listen to me, bro. And
you
probably wasn't paying attention. He destroyed the whole fucking Jimmy Iovine is sick today because of what Game did to that fucking group, bro. Fucked them up. I never forget. They sold 99,000 back then. That was like welfare line.
With that G-Unit move.
Yeah, he fucked them niggas up.
Stop snitching, stop lying.
Not only that, he started destroying all the little ones on the side. The Brawl fucked over her. Anybody tied to it. And then he turned around and made bitch ass Young Buck run back over there to him.
Yeah, this nigga.
Now that's a fact. That's a fact.
It's not a fact. It's not a fact. That's false information, gang. If the game destroyed G Unit so bad, wow, G Unit had an entire run, gang. Trust me, if he did any type of damage to G Unit in any way, shape, or form, why did G Unit progress still have they still was success? Lloyd Banks' album did well. Lloyd Banks' first album that he dropped, when he dropped his first album, like 2006, it was a good album. Did well, shit. Even the G Unit album did well. What are we talking about? 50 Cent was still on the run. 50 Cent's run kind of ended in like 2007. That was like his last bit of that run. He didn't have a very, very, very long run. It was like a good nearly 5 years. Then the reason that 50 Cent's run fell off is because he was beefing with Jimmy Iovine. Because he was still mad that everybody at UMG, which is Interscope, still a piece of UMG, he was mad because Jimmy Iovine was promoting the GU Not shirts. But it's the same situation with Drake and Kendrick, though. Because when you think about Drake and Kendrick, they both under UMG currently, right? And UMG still, as a company, as a label, has to promote both artists because they under the label. So they don't give a damn about you niggas beefing. Nigga, they have to do whatever is in the contract for them to do. You know, if y'all pushing units, if y'all making music, guess what? They don't give a damn. Oh, you dissing him? Oh, we're pushing it. You can't be mad at the label, but that's what 50 did. He got mad at the label. You know what I'm saying? You got mad at the label, and the label low key, you know, they felt some type way about that. That's kind of ended that whole 50 Cent run. When Kanye West came around, Kanye West kind of destroyed the 50 Cent run. I ain't gonna lie. But let's continue our chant.
Fact.
No. The point is what I was saying though. The West Coast they've only had a few years since the 90s. They had the number one guy. So I get it when y'all finally got the number one guy. So all the games years, he was never the number one guy in the whole
Kendrick came right after Game.
Yeah, but Kendrick has had 2 years as number one. So in 20 years, the West Coast has had 2 years. So I see why y'all happy. I like Knicks fans. Knicks fans so happy.
Every fight, I gotta be real. Kendrick picks the fights. He come out and diss you niggas in the song. Every fight he picked,
Wack
he
don't want
did
to
it.
talk about what I'm saying. Wack, hold on. What? Name a year that a West Coast artist was undeniable the number one artist in the whole genre. In the last 20 years or 25 years, honestly, it's been 2 years, and it's been 2017 and 2024 and Kendrick Lamar. Game was never.
I told you
Gang,
2012.
Nah,
you tripping, nigga.
Nah, the game ain't never had no run game. The game ain't never had no run. Nah. Nigga, and like Dutch said, a run is when all eyes are on you and everyone is anticipating more from an artist. Wasn't nobody anticipating nothing from no game. Wasn't no all eyes on the game. How long? Like again, I witnessed the whole GU not situation and all that. Cool, all right. But it wasn't on a level where this is the number one guy. It wasn't that, bro. It was never that. You dig? Dutz also says Kanye West may have had the biggest run of all time. That's you can't argue with that because Kanye did have an incredibly long run from being on Rockefeller all the way down to what was it, Life of Pablo, all the way down to that. We could say, okay, Ye had a crazy run. That's a fact. Ye never had like Ye's run. He never had a bad like album or bad showing throughout. And Ye became a fashion icon as well at the same time. So that makes sense. He might have had the longest hip hop run.
Nigga. You ain't no way you pushing Game out of that, bro.
Game was not the biggest artist in the culture in 2005.
You know what? Bullshit. Because I'm going to tell you why. The West was dead. It was nothing but him. And the nigga went to the East Coast and turned out your man's Jim Jones and put him on.
Wait,
Pause. That's not more false information. false information. First of all, how did he put on Jim Jones? Dipset was already popping before we even knew who Game was. Facts. Dipset was already popping before we knew who Game was. That's number one. And if you're talking about he put on Jim Jones like he got the blood stuff going on, that's extremely false information. And Dipset had such an crazy impact on the entire country, especially New York City, that bro, everybody was trying to be blood. Nigga, the entire New York City was trying to be blood, bro. It was a blood city during Dipset's run. Facts. You dig what I'm saying? So if anybody's saying that it's cap, the game had nowhere near the impact that Dipset had. Dipset had a severe impact on the entire United States. It was crazy. You dig? So for anybody to say anything different is a lie. But Jim Jones is part of the reason that most of New York was trying to be blood in the early 2000s. Now that was a terrible time, by the way. That time was crazy. It was a lot of war going on in the city during that time. You couldn't wear yellow. It was a lot of color. It was a lot of color situations, a lot of color issues in the city around that time too. You dig? So gang violence was prevalent during those times. But yet saying that Game put on Jim Jones sounds absolutely insane. Stop that madness. Let's continue.
Yo, Wack, yo, Wack.
That's a fact. That's a
Wake
fact.
it up.
Hold on. Wait. So let me get it straight. What year was the Game the biggest artist in hip hop?
His run was at 05, 06, 05, 07.
300 bars.
Yo, you can't even mention 07. That's Lil Wayne's era because my boy was dropping all drought. He was dropping the drought 3, all that type of shit. He don't even go into 07. So number one, let's stay with 05. He dropped documentary, classic
Real,
album.
the South took 08. The South took 08 to damn near 2022 alone.
But 50 Cent,
Straight up
that was
controlled
still
it.
50 Cent's run. 50 Cent was the biggest thing. And matter of fact, to keep it real, yeah,
Dipset was so influential. They part of the reason why Wayne changed the way he was rapping. Actually, when Wayne went and hung with Dipset in New York, a lot changed for Wayne. Wayne was in his era back then. When Wayne first came to New York, yeah, a lot changed with Wayne. They had a huge impact on Wayne alone. I mean, Dipset's different type of impact. He said Hidden J3 even rapped about Jim getting put on as he said something about Cam on that head. That's cat, nigga. Gang, these niggas is banging non-Trey. Non-Trey was a real bro. These niggas is banging non-Trey, bro. The non-Trey, Billy Badass, all that, bro. That been around since the early 90s in New York. But that's a New York City gang that was made in New York City. How did the game put them on? How did the game put them on, bro? That's just that nigga just rapping, bro. Hidden J3 can't tell Jimmy that to his face, though. Bro, Hidden J3 cannot tell Jimmy and none of them that. You know that, right? He cannot tell him that. Because it will be a problem. Bro, he can't go to Harlem and tell them niggas that. You know it will be a problem, right? He can't do that. I don't give a damn what that nigga said, bro. He said game ain't do nothing. Stop it. He didn't do anything, bro. That's hilarious. Yeah, don't go to New York telling nobody that. Put up these likes, man.
Yeah. 50 Cent was still the biggest thing in 2005.
50 was over when he lost to Kanye West. What was that?
That was in
07, 08?
2007.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
in
07.
2007, 2008. Yeah.
Nigga, what you better do is slide Nikki in here, bro, because she saved y'all.
Oh, yo, hold on. You see, Wack
And
moving the
that was
goalposts.
still by
You see,
ways of a
hold on.
South nigga.
Wait. All right, Wack. We saying what year did a West? See, y'all like this Jeopardy question. What year was the West Coast artist number one in the genre? In 2005, The Game, a West Coast artist from Compton, dropped documentary, but a New York artist named 50 Cent dropped The Massacre. What was the biggest artist that year? Come on, we don't gotta do too much
Bro,
arithmetic.
what you gotta understand though, act for real.
One
Because I
went
do a lot.
diamond, the other did not.
No. First of all, let me tell you why.
Yo, Game. The biggest hit Game had after Hated to Love It, and this is how we do, was One Blood. One Blood was a mixtape classic, right? That's it. Like, there was no other big record from Game. There was no other, and those records were written by 50 Cent, but One Blood was a huge record. But One Blood was like for the streets. Like, that was a street record. That's something you would hear on the streets a lot. And there was a lot of remixes to One Blood too. Outside of that, what other songs did the Game make that was crazy? That Ali Boombaye record with Rick Ross. I mean, that wasn't too crazy. It got a little motion, but One Blood. You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Let me get to some more chat. Somebody else said something. He said, "How you feel about Game saying that he is the best rapper from the West?" That's not true. He's not the best rapper from the West. Is he? Was he a good lyricist? Yeah, he was. Did he make a West Coast classic? Yes, he did. But the Game didn't have any longevity in hip hop though. And there are people that rap better than him that are out west. Not just Kendrick. There's other people who rap better than the Game out there. There's plenty of other people out west that do rap better than Game that don't get mentioned. That's how I feel about it. But the Game, I'm not gonna say he's trash because he's not trash whatsoever. But yeah, the Game, because of how he is, the type of liar he is, and the type of nonsense that he does, yeah, he pretty much ruined his own career. You know, the worst thing he could have did was actually try to listen to what Jimmy Henchman was telling him about 50 Cent, which damaged the relationship with him and 50, and getting people unalived as well because of that situation too. Yeah, that was his mess up. Uh, Mr. Vino Gotti says Cube is the best from the West. I'm not mad at that. Ice Cube had a crazy run. 90s Cube is unstoppable. I think Cube is better than Game, to be honest. I think in comparison, I think Cube is way better than Game. I'm just gonna keep it a stack. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say about that. Living Live says he was ranked 11 on LA top 50 LA rappers on Complex, and he was crying about that. I feel giving him 11 on the rank is still too generous. Is he really 11? No, that's not. I don't know if he's 11. Like I said, I think there's better rappers than Game, bro. I think there's better rappers than Game. Hey, I think Nipsey Hussle better than Game. How about that? I think Nipsey Hussle was better than Game too. How about that? Yeah, I'll take it that far. We can't act like Nipsey wasn't good. Nah, Nipsey's better than Game. You dig? You just gotta be honest. There's definitely other West Coast rappers that was rapping better than Game. Game's not the best, but he wasn't trash neither. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that the Game was trash because I'll be a liar. The Game has some pretty fire verses, especially in the mixtape era. So I'm not even gonna sit up here and say that he's trash. I think right now he's washed up though for sure. But Game back in the early 2000s, yeah, he got some fire verses and all that. I will not discredit his abilities back then. But now, champ, no. Game is to me is rusty. He's washed at this point. We heard that this record he did on Rick Ross after the Kendrick and Drake beef, and that was complete trash and unnecessary. You dig? Run up these likes, man.
Hey, why Game was bigger.
Oh
50
man,
went in
this
there.
is gonna be good.
50 went in
That's
there.
solid.
50 went into the label. I will bring Kevin Black on here. Niggas nobody was and was sabotaging the shit out there. Couldn't stop him still. It's a fact. I'll bring Kevin Black on this bitch. He was the VP of Energy. Pull his contracts, kill Games Radio, kill his marketing, all and the nigga still win. All that means something, bro. That
Oh
means something.
man, Wack. I'm not gonna lie. Listen, you see, you're going around it.
You want to bet?
Whack.
You wasn't around back then.
Yo, Wack is using every tag.
Hold on. Hey, yo, Game. Tyler the Creator is not better than Game. Stop this madness. No, he's not, bro. Salute to him though, but he ain't nowhere near better than Game, bro. Nah. Hell no, bro. You won't let that slide. Is that nigga even claiming to be a rapper anymore? Stop it. Where's Earl Sweatshirt from where? Where's Earl Sweatshirt from? I don't know where he's from. Is he from out west? Oh, champ. Living Monsters Complex ranked Blueface is number 50 on the top 50 LA rappers. Ab-Soul ranked 43, as he should. He's right where he belongs. He's right where he need to be. Ab-Soul right where he need to be. right there, right where he's supposed to be. They said I was mad and that I'm a hater of Ab-Soul, bro. I don't have no reason to hate Ab-Soul. He's just not that good, man. That's my personal opinion. Listen, everybody in the Discord know that I'm not a big fan of Kid Cudi. I don't like Kid Cudi's music. He might have one or two songs that I could listen to. But I'm just not a Kid Cudi fan. Kid Cudi got some good music. It's just not for me. As for Ab-Soul, I don't know about him, champ. I can't say that Ab-Soul is crazy. It's just, no, it's just not. And as of recently, with that song that we heard is still trash. I've been heard the song. People telling me I didn't listen to it. I did listen to it. I listened to it live with everybody. He's just not good, gang. You know? I feel like most of the people in TDE is better than Game 2. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like that. Didn't and Schoolboy Q had a little run, didn't he? We forgot about Schoolboy Q. Schoolboy Q had a little run. Kinda. Remember? Come on, champ. Everybody was saying that part. That part had motion. Had motion, gang, and Ye was on it. It had motion, champ. Minimal says we listened to that new song like 3-4 times. It's buns, bro. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Richard says Tyler just makes beats now, don't he? Yeah. Champ, I ain't gonna lie to you. You probably don't know what's going on. Tyler, the creator, just makes beats is insane. Where have you been, champ? Where have you been? Listen, I understand everybody ain't really tuned in. I get it, because music is so oversaturated. You kind of can't know who's doing what at this point, you know. But there's a lot of artists that are holding back now ever since the beef or the battle ended. You dig? Smash the like, share the video. We gonna keep it going.
Every tactic I hear him use on Clubhouse. You want to bet? Change the subject. Yo, Wack. In
So what
No, I'm
you?
just telling
25
you, bro.
years,
Hey, bro.
Wack,
Hey,
in
bro. Hey,
25
bro.
years,
You gotta
Kendrick is the only
realize
person that brought the hip hop championship to the West Coast. I
already
don't care if
who
y'all
he
talk about
was.
a rapper from the Bay, from
He was
LA,
already who he
from
was. We ain't taking
Compton.
that from him. But you ain't gonna kill the documentary, bro.
Yeah,
50 was never the same after the GU not after that documentary came out. 50 was
I'm gonna
never the
be
fucking same.
real.
Cap, cap, and more cap. That is a lie. 50 was still on his run. 50 was still making hits. How can y'all forget? I Get Money was a popular song. It was too. The amusement park record was he was still going. He still was on the run. The game, nobody was talking about the game like that. It was talking about 50. 50 was still making hits. 50 was still making hits after the GU Not record. Still. You dig? Still. All chin. Minimal says Q's better than Ab-Soul at making bangers. I can't personally enjoy Ab very much. Listen, the average person that listens to music is gonna tell you that Schoolboy Q is better than goddamn Ab-Soul. Y'all want to hear bars and all that? Listen, I have yet to hear anybody quote Ab-Soul. I've never in my life heard anyone quote Ab-Soul. I'm not saying Ab-Soul wasn't nice before. I'm saying that Ab-Soul right now is not nice. So it's either you're gonna accept what I'm saying as my opinion, and if you disagree, you disagree, and that's cool, man. If you disagree, you disagree. But Ab-Soul ain't. What did he do recently, bro? Why is his most recent record awful? And why are people trying to make excuses for people creating awful music? Another thing. Salute to Mr. Vino Gotti with $5 in town taxes, who says we not gonna sit up here and disrespect E40 way better than game. E40 is better than game, but for multiple reasons. But E40, I mean, we talking about the West. E40 is definitely more legendary. It has more status than game does in hip hop. That's a fact. But we're talking about the last 25 years. We understand that there's 90s rappers that are better than game. We get it. You feel me? Living Lives as Complex had the audacity. Rank Exhibit is number 14 for top 50 LA rappers. What? I don't think he's ever dropped a solid West Coast album. What a joke. Man, Exhibit ain't even from LA. He not even from Cali. That nigga's from Detroit. Moved to Cali, but that nigga's from Detroit. Why the hell is Exhibit number 14? I don't know. Nigga, half the majority of people only know Exhibit from Pimp My Ride, gang. The vast majority of people only know Exhibit from a show called Pimp My Ride, nigga. That's the craziest part. Run up these likes, man. Insane.
And say G
Yeah,
Unit was
I
never the
hear what
same.
y'all
Yeah, he
saying,
didn't
but
recover off of that.
I hear,
It did hurt him.
hold on. I hear what
And I
y'all
was a
saying,
kid
but
in New
we're
York when
going
that
by
came out.
year. Again, I'm asking the question. In the last 25 years of hip hop, name me what specific years did a West Coast rapper have the best year, which means I'm giving them the championship for that year of all of hip hop. There's only 2 years.
New York ain't had it either though. Like Wax said, the South
That's
couldn't have
not
that
true.
shit.
That's
More cap. We definitely had championship years in the last 25 years. Why? Because 50 Cent had a run. Jay-Z dropped the blueprint. Dipset dropped something in the 2000s. We've had championship years in the 2000s. Whoever that is saying that New York didn't have winning years in hip hop in the 2000s in the last 25 years sounds insane. We definitely had years where we were on top of stuff. Whoever don't agree is bugging. We have. We had Dipset. Oh, you gotta. Oh yeah. Again, Aram, you gotta go, champ. Hey, champ, we'll see you tomorrow. Aram, you out of here, champ. Hey, champ. Are you asking us where Nas is from, champ? Champ, I'm close, gang. I'm this close. I'm close, gang. Where is Nas from again? Sounds insane. What are we talking about? He didn't ask that, champ. I didn't see any, champ. I'm gonna let you slide because I think you troll me. Don't troll me, champ. Try not to troll me. I'm hot. Let's try not to troll. Please. New York is New York biased. I'm not New York biased. It's just a fact. I'm someone that sticks with the facts, and the fact of the matter is, New York has definitely had championship hip hop years in the last 25 years. That's a fact. We have, champ. We had 50 Cent on the run. Jay-Z. All right, Jay-Z dropped the blueprint in 2001. What we talking about? Those are successful albums. You know what I'm saying? Those are successful albums. So whoever says different, you're lying. Yeah, you lying. Complex rank Kendrick number 1, Lamar 2, Snoop 3, Ice Cube 4, 5. Tyler the Creator is insane. Why is Tyler the Creator number 5? Come on, gang. We're not talking about DMX. We're talking about the last 25 years, man. The last 25 years. DMX don't really count because, I mean, X did drop some songs on the Grand Champion album. I'm really not talking about X because X really was going through some things at that time. You know what I'm saying? Complex is bugging.
That's not true. First and foremost,
New
okay,
York didn't
so
have it either.
Come
The
on,
South
man.
You
was
okay,
said the
first
controlling it.
last 20 years?
The South
hold
was
on.
Last
controlling it,
20
First
bro.
and
years
foremost,
is, yeah, no.
The South was controlling it, bro. from '08, from like '08
That's a
to
fact.
2022,
Man, I
2020.
would
The South
say
was
Jay.
cold.
I would say
Okay,
Jay
here's the thing.
15.
Even if you try to say that, we're given 2003, 2004, 2005,
I mean,
2006.
them earlier 2000s is Jay-Z and 50. We don't take that from y'all.
Okay. Now after that, then it goes to Canada. I see why the whole West Coast
No,
is
it
based
don't.
on this.
It don't.
Yo,
It
no.
don't.
By the
Oh
way,
No, it
wow, this
don't.
nigga.
Bill.
You
I'm
gotta
gonna
By
tell
the
you
way,
why.
by the
relax.
way,
No, wait,
Bill.
wait.
Bill. By the
I'm
way,
gonna tell you
this
why
is
it
just
don't.
another thing that this.
Because there's a white boy named Eminem that was controlling shit too. Go back to the Midwest.
Hey, look, I'm gonna say this about M. M ain't get no play. I'm gonna say it like this: if the hood didn't play you, you don't count. If the hood wasn't playing, you didn't count. Sorry, nobody in the hood was bumping them. Then you don't go to the hood and see them. No, see the place where hip hop started is the hood. So if the streets ain't bumping it, it don't hit. And I ain't hear nobody in the streets bumping no Eminem. Sorry, Chip. No, that wasn't happening. No. Mm-mm. What run M had? He ain't have one. You feel me? Nah, he ain't have one. Cut that out. Eminem, Canada, nigga, stop it. There was never a can. Drake had runs, but we are we calling that a Canadian run? You got Carlos Rosado with $5 in town taxes who says, Mayor salute. I'm glad you covering this diabolical meatball with feet who drinks his henny with the team who Jamaican is Captain Cap Champ. Salute to you. Who drinks glaze and chase. Wait, I don't know what you said. But salute to you for paying your town taxes. Uh Living Live says town taxes. Salute to the man in the chat. Salute to you. Paying your town taxes. Listen, the fact of the matter is the West Coast is getting motion, but people gotta relax, man. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't think Eminem should be counted as a hip hop run because nobody in the hood was bumping Eminem. There's really no run. There was nobody in the streets bumping Eminem. Like the streets wasn't bumping no Eminem, bro. Eminem was being bumped by people who were committing heinous crimes, like chopping people up and all that. Yeah, maybe some school unalivers. Maybe some school unalivers did it. But he wasn't getting played in the street, so we can't count him. I'm a hater. That's not hate. That's facts. Why was the streets bumping Eminem? They were not. The streets were not bumping Eminem, champ. I don't know how old you are, but I'm telling you that just wasn't a thing, bro. It wasn't a thing. Carlos Rosado with $2 in town taxes. I was talking about action. Okay, salute. Talking about. Are you trying to come for me? Oh, you want a gym membership? I got you. Hold on, gang. Bro, I don't give a damn if he made a song for Haley. What the hell I got to do with me? Everybody's a hater, champ. Even me. I'm a hater, apparently. Anytime I say something that's facts, it's a problem. If they disagree with it, I'm not glazing like everybody else. You want me to glaze like you. No, it's not how this works. All right. This is not how life works. So since you don't know how life works, we're gonna send you to the gym so you learn how life works. How about that? When M was out, the streets was bumping Jay-Z Blueprint. That's a fact. You didn't hear nobody in the streets bumping no Eminem, so why are we even talking about Eminem? You feel me? Why are we talking about Eminem? We wasn't listening to that. In the streets, we weren't bumping it. He got no hood spins. Might have got some retail store spins at Forever 21 or one of them stores. But in the streets, no. Nobody was blasting that game. Sorry.
Yeah.
You gotta go
Let's
win
not
in
forget them
Kanye,
Kanye.
Eminem
You
Eminem,
years,
gotta
nigga.
go
That's a
win
fact.
too, bro. You forgetting about
Well,
winning
well,
Kanye.
actually, there's a year that Eminem. Look, what year did Eminem have? Yeah, Eminem has a year that I think he's number one. He ran shit.
That's the
I'll tell you
years
right
you
now.
just named, the '01 and '02, all that shit. He was
Cat,
really number one. But bro,
cat,
when you want to talk,
cat. Oh, 1 and 2 for who? For who, bro? Not the hip hop community. Let's be honest about Eminem. Eminem don't make music for people who are real hip hop people. He doesn't. He makes music for people who, again, people who listen to like pop and rock and all that. They listen to M. M's music is more geared towards those people. His music is not geared to your average hip hop listener. It's not. So how do we count him? We don't count him. He's like the retail he's for retail stores. If you're a Monster Energy drinker, you bump Eminem. You know, and back then you was skateboarding and all that, and you was wearing DC shoes, you probably listen to Eminem. But everybody else who wore Jordans and Air Forces and all that did not listen to Eminem. So we can't count him as having a run when the main audience wasn't listening to him. And here's a prime example. We have someone that is Caucasian in the chat who says, as a white guy, the people I saw bumping Eminem were bumping Linkin Park. And there is why I say what I say. This guy wasn't making music for hip hop listeners. He was making music for a different audience. Now he did get a lot of play though. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like, oh, Eminem wasn't getting. He did get played, but he didn't get played from us though. People like myself, we're not listening to Eminem yet. Okay, so anybody saying different is crazy. 99 to 2001 was Jay-Z, DMX, Ja Rule era. Yes, facts. We forget that Ja Rule had a crazy run because if we're being honest, Ja Rule had some mega hits in the 2000s. He did. Ashanti, Ja Rule, J Lo, and all that. Come on, gang. That was motion, right? That was motion. That was different motion back then. That's a fact. Ja Rule had a crazy run before 50 and them ended his run, but he definitely had a run. In front on that. You dig? Let's continue.
want to talk about West Coast number
Yeah.
one, you
99
gotta
into
think,
2000,
yeah, that was
the
him.
Slim Shady LP and Marshall
But
Mathers
bro,
LP.
'06. Go
Yeah.
look at '06. Look at the year
And that's because of a
2006.
West Coast
I'm gonna
nigga,
give that to
Dr. Dre.
Game, bro.
Yeah,
'06. I'm
oh
gonna
man,
give to
y'all trying to
Game.
get a West all type of credit. Y'all trying
Is
to
it
give the
not?
executive
Go
producer
to
credit.
'06. Look at who dropped in '06. It's either you gonna give it to T.I. or Wayne. I mean T.I. or Game. That's it. It gotta be
T.I.
T.I. or
game.
Game. Yeah,
Hell,
it's either that. It's either King or it's that Doctor's
Hey,
outfit.
and
That's
don't
it.
act
Nigga, T.I. had way more motion than Game had. We're not even having a debate about T.I. or Game. That's not even, bro, that's not even a conversation to have. We know T.I. had a way bigger motion than Game did in 2006. What are you talking about? Truthfully, gotta be like it gotta be like 2007. But T.I. definitely had a serious run for like a good year or two. And to say that, and even compare Game and T.I. as if the Game was putting up hits is crazy. The Game don't have hits like that, bro. The Game, you can only count the Game's hits on one hand. You can count T.I.'s hits on two hands. It's different. It's way different. You feel what I'm saying? Don't forget Swagger Like Us is a T.I. record. Swagger Like Us is a T.I. record. Don't forget. You know what I'm saying? Bow Wow got more hits than Game got. Let's talk about it. Yeah, Bow Wow got more hits than Game got. That's a fact. Bow Wow got more hits than Game. We ain't even talking about goddamn Bow Wow. That's just a fact, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, T.I. compared to Game back then, yeah. Yeah, Ti was on going crazy. There was no comparison to no Game. What the hell was Game doing? This nigga try to compare. It was either Game or Ti, nigga. It was either Ti or Ti, nigga. That's what it was. Let me correct you, champ. No, it was either Ti or Ti. It wasn't. It was no Game. Wasn't nobody checking for bro. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Don't act like Snoop and E40 ain't still pushing numbers and Too
I've
Short.
been there the whole time.
Don't act like Too Short, E40 or Snoop
Look at
ain't got
06,
numbers
man.
neither.
No, hold on,
Since
hold
the
on.
early
Hold on. It's a
90s.
reason why I didn't say the 90s. Like, because I think Snoop got a year or two.
Nigga, we ran the
And there's
90s.
definitely some Pac. There's
We
Pac in there
ran the
for the reason I
90s,
know.
nigga. You don't even want to
I,
play with 90s. We got
okay,
that's
that's
when the
hold on.
Hey,
Dre's, the
Hey,
Death Rows,
it
and
was
the
more than
you don't
Snoop.
even want
wait, Wack.
Our Kitty
That's
Mob.
I'm gonna use your terminology. I put y'all in the trick bag. That's why I said 25 years. We got to go back to two. I'm not going to the 90s. Yeah, y'all was going crazy in the 90s, but since then, y'all are like Dallas Cowboy fans. It's been a while, so I get it. When y'all finally get one, it's like
no,
time to
bro.
celebrate.
Bro, the South had total control.
It's been a
Sorry.
South East Coast thing. It's
Man.
like the West just
2006
right.
Game was the number one, man. Period.
2006.
Go look it up. Like look it.
Hey, gang, listen, I'm gonna put you in timeout, bro. You been asking for it. Hey, Ron, you gotta go, gang. You gotta go, man. This nigga talking about goddamn Scarface and Black Thought. Nigga, nobody was thinking about them niggas, bro. Salute to them. But we talking about hits being made, champ. We're talking about hits. This nigga talking about Black Thought. Yo, gang, respectfully, no. Okay? No, champ. We'll see you tomorrow. You trolling, gang. You trolling. You're not serious. You trolling, man. I was gonna let you rock with that. You asked where Nas was from. I had like, yo, listen, man. Asking where Nas is from is crazy. But I'm gonna give you one more. Then you start talking about Black Thought, nigga. Black Thought is not even a thought right now. How about that? Okay. Stop it, bro. Please stop it. Black Thought. Okay, bro. Oh, champ.
Look it up. Like if you want to, I mean,
Yo, I'm gonna be
only
honest with you.
argument could be King is that Ti dropped King, but that's it.
I'm gonna be
My
honest with
nigga
you.
Chameleon that was out there too, but he wasn't.
Hey,
That
hey,
wasn't
hey.
fair.
I'm gonna be honest with you. So I'm 2005. I'm giving him 50 because he dropped Massacre. 2006. I'm not even giving it to Ti, even though I love the King album. I should give it to him, but Game can't beat Ti in that year, and he can't beat Jeezy. That's Jeezy's year. That's Jeezy's year,
Jeezy didn't sell what he sold. Jeezy didn't even drop until the end of 2006, bro.
bro. He
Never
dropped
tagged
Thug
him.
Jeezy still
Motivation.
the South.
Oh, he
Wait,
dropped
wait, no,
Thug
he
Jeezy
didn't.
Motivation.
dropped it.
Nigga, all that stuff came out in 2007. Jeezy did not have nowhere near the motion T.I. had in 2006. Jeezy had a run. That's a fact. Go Getter and all that came out. Yeah, that was a run, but that wasn't the same. That wasn't around the same time and T.I. versus Tip came out and all that. No, wasn't around that time, bro. That was later down the line. But Jeezy did have a run though. You know what I'm saying? Jeezy had a run. We won't deny Jeezy's run.
Dropped it at the
102
end of
and so
2006.
and he sold like 370,000. What are you talking
But
about?
Game sold 1.3
Yeah,
million
Seriously.
you
that year,
tripping.
bro. You
Hold on,
tripping.
how much did he sell first week?
Let's go check it out. The Doctor's
Doctor's
Advocate.
Advocate.
Yeah. We just talking about that year though. That
Hold on.
year,
Also, you got
that
to
album
remember.
sold 1.3 million. Only Chameleon Now Sound of Revenge and King sold more than that, bro.
Hold on. He sold 358 first week, which means Jeezy outsold him. What I'm trying to say, that album, remember,
What
the
Jeezy do
West
first
Coast.
week?
Hold on. That's another thing. Y'all talking about the same way how you wanted to take Eminem's credit and give it to Dr. Dre. That whole album was I'm crying about Dr. Dre not fucking with me no more. Because remember,
Ah man, you
Aftermath.
can't
I
move the
don't give a fuck about
goalpost.
what is. Hey, bro,
You
I don't
moving
give
the
a fuck about what it's
goalpost.
about. He wrote it. Drake crying to a bitch, nigga. That's his music. Fuck about what
Aki.
shit.
Yeah, you talk about crying to dots and all that. This nigga crying to dots who doesn't give a damn. It's what the bread, gang. It's on the back. Look at David Lee with 4.99 in town taxes says, "What's good, man? Just paying these taxes. Salute you for paying them town taxes. Look here, gang. Yeah, Drake be rapping about trying to make these thoughts love them. These thoughts cannot love you. They are for the streets. They are bought and paid for. They're treacherous. They're only good for one thing. And yeah, they only good for one thing, gang. It's a fact. They want money and they are they are dumpsters, shit, right? Drake wants to try to make dumpsters love him. You're gonna have a hard time doing that in this world, champ. So it's a weird world we live in, man. Rich simp music, something that I cannot listen to. Sorry. Sorry, champ. I don't listen to all that. Can't do it. Feel me? Drake's last solo album was that, and I couldn't get with it, gang. I'll be honest, bro. I don't want to hear none of that nonsense. I don't care about what trees you trying to make love you and all that. We don't care, gang. We don't care. Feel me? We don't care.
You
Shit.
gotta give
Never
them
do
boys
Hey,
the
hey, hey,
'06,
hey, hey,
bro.
hey, Wack. Make sure your media team or whoever put this on YouTube because I want to read the comments. Tomorrow.
Yeah, man. So that's the end of that. Basically, dog. Anyone saying the game doctor's advocate was one of them ones, you sound insane. You sound insane. You feel me? Come on, bro. 440 cases winning Act of America 2000. Dude has no say on what happened around that time. I agree. He doesn't. He really don't though. This nigga don't even know half of the stuff he be talking about, bro. He made it. He made a list. He made a hip hop list that he didn't even know he was making. He didn't understand the type of list he was making. Like, bro, you don't know nothing about no damn hip hop. I feel like if you don't know the real origins of certain hip hop stuff, you shouldn't even be talking about it. But I do. I know plenty origins and plenty things in hip hop, bro. So I definitely can speak on it. You know, even though people say that I can't. Even though people say that I can't. They don't know half of the stuff that I know. But it's okay though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Yeah, man. I can't really say there was any crazy West Coast runs before Kendrick came around. Like the game wasn't somebody who was making consistent hits. He only has, like I said, a handful of hits. You can't count Game's hits on two hands, maybe one, and that's about it. Dot to me has one of the craziest West Coast runs ever for sure. The most successful West Coast run, if you want to be real. You know what I'm saying? But that's about it. That's all I can say. Salute to Wendy Jenkins with $5 in town taxes. What's up, man? Paying tardy taxes. Salute to you paying your town taxes. Yeah, man. Kendrick has the craziest West Coast run, most successful. I don't know about these other people. I think they're going about it the wrong way. I think the crazy thing is I think the other West Coast artists trying to make noise to just make music. For example, what Shoreline Mafia just did with YG, that's the type that's what the other West Coast artists should be doing. And that's a fire record. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if there's more West Coast artists just making music and not dissing people, bro, I feel like there could be more West Coast talks. You just have to put it in the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? I rock with that G Funk sound and all that. That's fire to me. Other people don't understand or don't resonate with G Funk sounds and all that. But to me, it's fire. You know what I'm saying? So what you just seen with YG and Shoreline Mafia, keep making that music. But dissing everybody ain't gonna do it. It ain't gonna cut it. Because I think people got confused and thought because Drake and Kendrick had a beef that everybody else could do it. No. It worked and it's good, but as you can see, Kendrick also moved on and made other music. I think other West Coast artists should just make music like they've been doing. You feel what I'm saying? Kenny Max says now the West Coast got Larry June and Jay Worthy. They good. Yeah, I rock with Larry June and Jay Worthy, but they also make niche music too, though. You know what I'm saying? They make niche music. I will say, like I rock with Larry June and all that, but they music is for a certain crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like Larry June made music for grown-ups. You dig what I'm saying? It ain't for everybody. It's for grown-ups though. You dig what I'm saying? But like I said, if people just make the music, stop trying to diss everybody, I think we're good. I think we're good. That's what I can say. I think we're good if we just continue to make music and we don't diss everybody. Because yeah, it was cool when Kendrick and Drake did it, but everybody can't do it, bro. Leave the beefing alone. We done with the beef. we done with the beef. All that stuff is done with. You know what I'm saying? Run up these likes, man. Smash the like button, share the video. All right, we gonna have more content later. Make sure you tap in. But I'm up out of here, man. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. But I'm off this, man. Salute.